Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today what we're going to talk about is something very simple, short little topic, but I think very important, and honestly I've never really heard this discussed before in detail, is when you're bench pressing, should you be following the bar with your eyes? And frankly, I would actually bet most people who watch this video have probably never even really thought, are they even watching the bar? And they're gonna have to go actually bench press to know if they are or not. And that would include myself 2 years ago. I actually remember someone on Instagram on my stories asked me, should you follow the bar with your eyes? And at first glance, when I read that, I thought very much, oh, you should follow with your eyes. I definitely do. And then I went and bench pressed the next day and I was like, I don't follow the bar. That's completely incorrect. And I'd never really thought about what I'm actually doing when I'm bench pressing with my actual line of sight. And with that said, I wouldn't want the main thing while you're benching to be you thinking about where you're looking. It should be just kind of something where you kind of, in a sense, black out. You really don't focus on that. It just is an unintentional thing you do. But there is somewhat of a right and wrong in regards to following the bar or not following the bar with your eyesight. And I see certain issues arise specifically when someone follows the bar with their eyes when they should not be. And I'm going to explain the differentiation of who should be following and who should not be following. So simply put, the degree of your arch and your range of motion is going to dictate if you should be following the bar with your eyesight all the way to your chest. And there isn't some like set in stone staple, if you arch this much or you have this shorter range of motion, this is what you should exactly do. It's going to take some tinkering, but what I hope you take away from this video is just the thought process that it actually kind of matters and that you should kind of think about, what am I doing with my eyes? And am I doing something that's actually detrimental to my bench press? So starting with someone who has a really high arch and has a short range of motion, I'd say likely they're going to benefit from following the bar with their eyes because frankly, it allows us to use an additional sense to basically have awareness of what we're doing with that bar path and that touch point and kind of keeping track of it. And when you have a high arch and a short range of motion, you can do this because it's not going to change your head position by trying to follow the bar. Because the issue arises is that at a certain point, which I'm going to demonstrate in a second with myself, is that if you try and follow the bar all the way down, you can't continue to see it unless you start to want to change your head position. And when you change your head position, it's going to want to change your chest position. When we're benching, we're really trying to keep the head flat against the bench. We're trying to use that leg drive to roll us up onto our upper traps, to drive into the bench with the back of our traps, our neck, and our head to create that equal and opposite reaction that as that pushes down, and that's our main center of mass and contact point, that's going to drive the bar up as we press. And we don't want to change that head position or else that's going to then change our chest position. So to demonstrate this, let's look at my own bench press and kind of show the point in which I am a detriment to continue to follow the bar with my eyes. I have a very low arch. I've never had a big arch. Like I said, as soon as I saw that story and started to think about it, I realized there's a very distinct point in which I stop following the bar when I bench press and I continue to look straight up. So at first, I very much am looking at the bar. I continue to follow it for a second, but at about this point here, I can no longer see the bar unless I lift my head up. I'm going to start getting double vision because I can no longer see it without lifting my head up, and that's going to naturally shave my chest. Now, with a very low arch, that's a bit extreme, but even so, it's to the point where if I get much further than about right here for myself, I'm already seeing a little bit of double vision with the bar, and to do that, I already feel myself wanting to tuck my chin at this point. And to get all the way down, I actually have to lift my head up off the bench. So for myself, as I'm going down, right about here is the maximum range of motion I feel like I can actually follow the bar, not adjust my head position, and not get double vision to where it's going to start kind of messing with my perception of seeing two bars at once. So from using that demonstration, obviously I'm in an extreme with a very low arch and very long arms, but even so, when I showed the range of motion I could go through where I could actually follow the bar with my eyes, it was pretty short. I would say the majority of lifters do not have that short of range of motion. So if you want me to group together who should be following the bar versus who should not, I would say most people probably shouldn't be following the bar with their eyes, or else they're gonna get in this pattern where one, either they're gonna kind of have that double vision and lose a bit of their awareness of like using sight as a sense, or two, they're gonna have to start to tuck their chin and drop their chest to get the bar down. So, barring you're a really high arch bencher with a short range of motion, I would say the majority should not be following the bar down. And so where should you look? Probably initially, you're gonna look at the bar. You're trying to use that sense to aid you in your awareness of positioning and whatnot. But from there, really you should stop focusing on eyesight and mainly just focus on more the feeling, leg drive, tension, bar in the palms, all the other cues I've talked about in other videos to go through the bench press, and not really worrying about eyesight as one of your main senses, being able to kind of control your awareness of position. Hopefully this video gave you something to think about. Like I said, it was short, simple, and it's something that I personally just haven't seen discussed much, but it's important because as you saw, frankly, the majority of people who bench press are going to have some type of detriment of trying to follow the bar all the way down to their chest. So I'd probably recommend that the majority of lifters are not following the bar. But try it for yourself. Next bench session, if you've never thought about this a single time, think about what you're doing. Are you just maintaining like kind of a gaze towards the ceiling? Are you following the bar? And then try to determine if you are following the bar, is it of detriment to the point where you're actually having to follow it too far to where that head position is changing and you're not able to maintain that extension and that kind of tucked chin position with the head flat driving into the bottom of the bench. As always, if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll be happy to respond. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and until next time, peace.